need second place or first in your group in order to advance. This match decides it. I believe our runners are seeing a countdown, and we are off, starting with World 3. Split paths, and ooh! KillerApp finds the God Pipe immediately. BigZeeff chose to take a quick dip, and is going to take that pipe as well. I did not get a good enough look as to whether that was 3-3 or 3-8 that Zeeff had checked out, but right now we are checking out the World 4 airship. One thing you'll notice, the auto-scroller, or the auto-scrolling, does not exist right now. However, Wendy-O Koopa, otherwise known as Cutie Pie, will still cause problems. Now, one disadvantage is if Wendy gets a lot of those rings up and causes problems, oh boy, 4 HP Wendy, then you just have to be extremely careful. But fortunately, KillerApp manages to take on Wendy without too many issues, and BigZeeff right behind. That is certainly an explosive start to this randomizer. King is wondering, probably having a little bit of an identity crisis, but let's see where our next world is. World 4. In this case, World 4, the order is going to be fixed, because these two pipes can only take you just to the fortress or to 4-1, and in this case we need the 4-1 tile. We don't have a hammer yet. 4-1 is 1-3. Just watch out for the fire bro, and everything should be smooth sailing. Gotta love the power-ups that appear in the bump blocks. Nipperplant chose to get a little funky, and we have a minor divergence. KillerApp is going to pick up an item by going into the background. BigZeeff is going to get a star card. Now, was the item worth it in the background? Whistles are gone, but Lucky 2's Cloud is an excellent find. And it is very rare that I see, I believe this is 3-5. KillerApp wants that leaf. It's going to take a little bit of time to go back for it. BigZeeff is already floating up top. Watch out for the Gelectro. There we go. Ooh, BigZeeff takes a hit, but otherwise it's neck and neck. Ooh, Big Bertha wants a piece of the action as well. Sledge Brothers are guarding the Toad House and 4-3. And with it being water here, that's never a good sign. Now, 4-3 today is... This looks like 5-8. There will likely be a Lakitu coming up. There we go, right on schedule. Certain enemies are not as likely to be randomized depending on stage layout and other hazards. I approve of BigZeeff's decision getting the 5-up early on, because lives are sometimes just as much of a resource as the items you pick up from the Toad Houses. First fortress that we are seeing today is 1-4. Well, 1-4, excuse me. But it's the only one in World 1. Now, if BigZeeff gets a leaf... never mind on that thought. You can still go into the warp whistle door, but you need a leaf for that, and again, no warp whistles in this category. It would be a random item, but in this case, we have to face off against Boom Boom today. Hi, Boo Diddley. Bye, Boo Diddley. KillerApp does not like waiting on that for that ceiling to raise and that door to raise as well. Here is Boom Boom. Boom Boom takes 3 hits. And, right, the flying characteristics must carry based off of the tile instead of the actual stage, because that Boom Boom was ready to take off, but that normally doesn't happen in the First World Fortress. Oh. Thanks, Hammer Bro! We wanted that hammer earlier so we could have avoided those first 3 stages. Instead, here is 2-5. While most of the enemies are randomized, it's rare to see the Chain Chomps randomized, if at all. While BigZeeff is going for the end spade game. If you match, then you don't get what's on the card, but you get something else. Of course, if it ends up being the vanilla item, who knows? Looks like KillerApp is going to do the same thing as BigZeeff. Nope! Recognize the mushroom? Either that or this was a different layout. Now, what was actually gotten? We won't know just yet, but we will shortly as soon as we open one of those boxes. Ah, matched a leaf, got a fire flower. BigZeeff with the lucky 2 grab, and KillerApp gets another as well. So now, 4-5 versus 4-6. It doesn't matter too much, but... Ooh, hand stage. There's the fish! Shoutouts to Skybills for that. Now, an interesting thing... Ooh! BigZeeff is going into the rising and sinking... ice loss level. Going back to the hand stages, there are 3 of them in the game. They will all end up with the same item. In this case, music box. Probably not the best. And the next fortress is the second one in World 3. This one... it's admittedly a little on the slow side, unless you happen to have had your frog suit equipped going in. Because, as you can tell, it's all underwater. Mr. Sansini, we haven't seen Boss Bass yet. However, it's entirely possible that he will make an appearance. Or she. I don't know the gender of Boss Bass. It's probably for the best I don't. What is the airship now? Looks like World 5s. Without the auto-scrolling, it's easy to get up to the top part. And now we have Iggy Koopa. Well, we had Iggy Koopa. And not much you can... I mean, you don't have to worry too much if Iggy, otherwise known as Hop, only has 1 hit point. And the king is... wanting to make sure that that wand stays in his position. Continuing on with the sequential numbers. World 5 with 1-6. And Overlord Lork. Thank you for sacrificing yourself to a boss bass to confirm that. Ooh, nice airtime from BigZeeff. And with that, ooh, wait. Zeeff is choosing to stock up on lives. Maybe not. I don't know if that fire card was intentional or not, but right now it's a lot closer. "5-2 is 4-1 today. Hello there, Goomba Shoe. Alright, BigZeeff has some new matches. Hopefully we get an inventory check to see what it is. Now, while the layouts are different, the symbol matches themselves will reveal the same items. Looked like a P-Wing and a Tanuki suit. Nice! Hopefully those items will come in handy, because right now KillerApp has a one-stage lead. Well, make that a two-stage lead. KillerApp decided to screw whatever was in 5-3 and just move on to take on the Fire Bros. Does get a P-Wing for the efforts, though. But KillerApp wants more. More Fire Bros. More carnage. More items. There we go. I was a little worried. BigZeeff is actually going into 5-3, and it is 5-1 today. Ooh, almost lost the Fire Bro there, or Fire Flower there. And now both runners are going to make their way up the tower. This is one of the few stages that isn't randomized. Oh, excuse me, Fire Bros wanted to get a piece of the action against BigZeeff. So yeah, the tower is one of the few stages that isn't randomized in this game because it has a specific overworld transition. You start on the ground portion of the map, and when you finish it, you end up in the sky portion. Right now, KillerApp taking his time, mostly home free. BigZeeff is just starting the ascent. Ooh, Fire Snake guarding the vine, but fortunately, Tail makes it easy. And excellent time to use the hammer to break that lock. And the vanilla Sky Fortress of World 5. Insert randomization joke here. Fortunately, KillerApp is well equipped to deal with this stage. Just has to watch out for the Boo Diddly. There we go. BigZeeff sees the Fire Snake. May not know about the tail mechanic. Just going on. Alright, I don't think we saw this Hammer Bro encounter yet. It's for a star. KillerApp going through 5-8, which is now 7-9. Now, 7-9 is an interesting stage because if you are, at the very least, Big Mario, you can attempt to do, I believe it's 4 clips along the bottom and save a lot of time. However, if you aren't too comfortable with doing the clips, it's best to take the vanilla path that you are seeing right now. And as KillerApp leaves 7-9, BigZeeff enters it. Ooh! Lost sight of that Koopa Paratroopa there, but still is Big Mario, that helps. 5-9 is 1-5. Never slide down 1-5 in Randomizer, because you are almost always guaranteed to take a hit. Fortunately, it's still 1-5, so easy pickings. BigZeeff has to be careful, but fortunately there should be a power-up block right there. Perfect. Alright, KillerApp is going to use a star and get a star in exchange, while BigZeeff is celebrating with firework stars. The next airship is... well, it's the World 3 airship, I believe. Yes, it is. I recognize this curve around anywhere. So maybe now we will actually get some different order here. Hi there, Roy. You're not our boy. You're certainly an earthquaker, though. That was 3 or 4 hits, I believe, but KillerApp has Roy Koopa's number, otherwise known as Bully. And... oh! Cannonball gets BigZeeff. Ouch, has to go through that airship again. Choosing to use the Tanuki suit right now. As we enter World 6. 4 pipes in the overworld. Only one path will be the good one. That's not the good one. So, what is in 6-1 today? It is 4-4. Not going for the Lakitu bounce at the start. Still able to move expertly through the water as BigZeeff takes on Roy. Well, takes out Roy at this point. So once again, a split path. Do you take 6-2 or 6-3? Well, we're taking on the money ship first. Again, without the auto-scrolling here, it's easy to just blaze through this. Choosing to pass on the 1-up, but, you know, 2 boomerang bros. Ooh! KillerApp, don't scare us! Still, hope that hammer was worth it. Hint, it probably was. What is in... oh, hold on, end spade game. No match there. BigZeeff gets the bounce off Lakitu and is able to help skip over the stage. Ooh, gets a second bounce but lost the suit. 6-3 today is 1-2. Excellent choice. However, the Paragoomba chose to give KillerApp a hug, and the Fire Snake chose to give a hot massage. Second Fire Snake wants to get in, but nope, there's a line. And BigZeeff has entered 1-5 Beta. We have another lost level sighting. So how about that fortress stage? Ew, second one of World 4. Not one of the easiest ones. Alright, BigZeeff is through 1-5 Beta. Boo Diddleys are running amok, or floating amok. But fortunately, Boom Boom is easy at this point. Now, BigZeeff did not get the coin chip, so has to... it's the quicker path, but slightly harder there. Ah, 6-4 is the Muncher run. 7-7. Nice. This is one of the few stages that involves getting a card at the end that is only 200 in-game seconds. But then again, it's kinda hard to need all 200 of them. Tricky part right here, gets it, and then you have to remember to duck and slide. If you don't duck and slide, then you can't get through. Alright, BigZeeff is catching up. Not too far behind. Time for a choice. 6-5 is 3-2. Again, KillerApp making excellent decisions. Remember that this is Randomizer. None of our runners have seen the seed before, so sometimes it just matters which stage you choose, and you gotta hope for the best. Ooh! Ooh, KillerApp has to spend some time in the pool. Watch out for that cheap! Ooh! And BigZeeff forgot about the duck, I think. Got sent all the way back. Ouch. Now, fortunately, by starting small, you don't have to worry about ducking there. Ooh, excellent decision to use the star against the Hammer Bros, especially since it's a water environment. Hope that mushroom was worth it. And KillerApp wants to cause more Hammer Brothers destruction. Gets a star in exchange, so that's another one to save for later. Two, 3, the outskirts of the pyramids. And an angry sun is choosing to hang around for some reason. I think this stage is long enough to where we may see a potential problem at the end here. Yep, sun is reacting. The issue here is you have to use this Koopa Troopa, cause problems. Oh no, the Brick Goomba causing issues. The Paragoomba sending out the kids. Angry Sun is taken out. Okay, KillerApp is fine. Whew, that was a bit chaotic. Now, BigZeeff is in that same pool as before. The fish is destroyed. Has to just climb up the normal way. Nicely done with that tail. Yes, Overlord Lork, sometimes the end of the level can do that, especially if you have to worry about an angry sun or boss bass in an uncomfortable position. Fortunately, the water door fortress is a little bit easier to handle, so our runners get a little break, though Thwomp is getting a rare hit there. Alright, BigZeeff going to deal with the pyramid and the chaos that ensues. I'm curious how Zeeff will react upon dealing with the Brick Goomba and the Angry Sun and the Paragoomba. In the meantime, oh gosh, this is an ugly stage. 7-5, I believe, and KillerApp is taking the intentional death. It's either 7-5 or 7-4, but doesn't matter. KillerApp wants to. Excellent decision, using the P-Wing for safety. And this is definitely a good stage to use it. Angry Sun in 6-5, but just going to pipe warp it away. So as long as there's nothing scary up... Oh no, that is a Paragoomba at the top. Watch out! Okay, it got scrolled off somehow. BigZeeff through the door maze, just has to take out Boom Boom. Nicely done. Alright, one more fortress to go before we see the airship. And it's basically spicy vanilla, because it's the ice fortress, which is technically the one prior. Now, BigZeeff is actually going for the 2-floor maze. Nope, decided to change his mind at the last minute. Now, will we see 6-9? Yes, we will. And, again, safety strats here. Unfortunately, BigZeeff, I don't think you can fly over. You have to actually go inside. However, BigZeeff is just going for it, not even taking the pipe to despawn the angry sun. But considering the sun is trapped down there, may not be a bad decision. World 2 airship is what our runners will encounter right now. And at the end is going to be Lemmy Koopa, aka Hip. Lemmy will be on a bouncing ball. That isn't going to bounce too much, but he will certainly throw the bouncing balls. However, Lemmy is kind of hanging on the right side, now trying to show off excellent levitation strategies. And, ooh, looks like KillerApp was not on the ball there. Has to go through that again. Alright, BigZeeff is almost there. Boom Boom is not a problem. And so we're back to a one-stage differential. However, BigZeeff is choosing to spend extra time at the end spade game. Once you clear a board, then you have to redo the process all over again. In this case, not too much time was lost, but no items were gained either. While Lemmy Koopa is done with the circus for now. The Raccoon King is apparently showing off with magic tricks. And it's now World 7. There is a potential God Pipe here, maybe a second if our runners still have a hammer. That is not the God Pipe we're looking for. BigZeeff takes out Lemmy. Nicely done, showing patience and restraint, not rushing the kill. Alright, 7-1 today. Ew, 5-9. This is one of the 2 stages that still auto-scrolls. And KillerApp is pressing on. The reason this stage still auto-scrolls, it's kinda busted if it doesn't. BigZeeff making the same play. You know, odds are it's the decent play. You don't have to worry about a stage if it's right, but in this case... Oh, are we gonna have a divergence? BigZeeff has at least 2 hammers. Decides not to. We don't know if that's a mistake yet or not. However, upon seeing 5-9, BigZeeff is going for it. Now, what does 5-9 guard today? Well, that's a vanilla pipe, and we have the 7-6, wrong warp way, but KillerApp is showing why it's the other wrong warp way. We have 2 pipes accessible right now. Will one of them be the good pipe that we're looking for? Ooh, BigZeeff has to be careful. Ah, okay, so at least we don't need to worry about busting the fortress lock. How about the other pipe? There we go. That's not the intended god pipe, but it will work, as KillerApp enters the Mortar Mirage motorway. BigZeeff now in the second wrong warp way, but goes through the door normally. Or not, trying to actually take a death there. There we go. And in this case, going to attempt to fly over again. But in this case, we can fly over. KillerApp now facing the Air Force. This stage used to be a very fast auto-scroller. Now it's just precision platforming. Oop, well, that and Rocky Wrench positioning there. Almost lost the footing, but regained it. Alright, Boom Boom guards the airship. Well, the Air Force, technically. While BigZeeff is just flying on high. Woo! Watch out for that piranha plant. There you go. So, if you folks at home have not done so already, please give our runners a follow, as they are certainly giving us a very good race. Also, don't forget to follow our restreamer, JK Allen. Ooh, hammer suit from the Piranha stage. Nice. Airship. Oh, we're just going to use the hammer suit right now. And it's the World 7 airship. Oof. World 7 airship is probably the hardest one. A lot of firebar thrusters, I should say, that you have to worry about. The jumps at this portion are not the friendliest. If you don't have a good running start, you have to use the nuts and bolts or the screws to get yourself across. As we now see Ludwig von Koopa, aka Kooky von Koopa. Unfortunately, I don't think hammers work on the Koopalings, so you have to defeat with stomps. Fortunately, Ludwig is not stomping the ground. We are missing Worlds 1 and 2 before we encounter 8. And KillerApp will get the first crack at it. BigZeeff going through the airship now. Also, what is the Hammer Brothers' special message? And the king is... slightly panicked. World 2 is next. That means World 1 will be the 7th, and World 8 will be the final. We have skipped a lot of fortresses today, as we see... Ooh, it's rare that I see 5-5 showing up here. Nice jump. Choosing to pass on a power-up right there. And, there you go. Do not or donut lift bridge is, simple as that. N-Spade game is relatively quick, as we now encounter 1-1 at the desert tile. BigZeeff now in the desert. Now, one interesting thing to note is... I'm trying to remember the number of hammers that our runners have. BigZeeff is now out of hammers. If KillerApp has one hammer still remaining in inventory, then that means World 1 can be done much faster. Mushroom chose to get a little freaky as a music box is collected. Music boxes are running out of importance here. Chooses to take 2-4, and we see 5-4 with an angry sun. Sun is hoping to get one hit in, and not this time. BigZeeff, though, making excellent use of that hammer suit. We'll see if it holds off. And BigZeeff is choosing to go in the southern route. We have 5-3. This is the original home to the Goomba shoe. Don't know if we'll get to see it this time. Pyramid stage. That is 5-6. Oh, that's Boss Bass in 5-3. Ooh, very nearly dodged a bite. And again, KillerApp using the P-Wing. Don't blame him at all. Alright, BigZeeff should be safe from Boss Bass at this point. I don't usually see Boss Bass jumping the planes. Alright, BigZeeff can rest easy. KillerApp going through the World 6 airship. This means only the World 1 airship remains. And, ooh, BigZeeff is gonna have to take on the other Hammer Bro. Morton Koopa Jr., otherwise known as Big Mouth, only had Big Mouth, not Big Stamina. And that's why 5-6 is not the easiest thing in the world. You sometimes have very difficult jumps to deal with, so use another P-Wing. The king wishes to have been transformed again, but we're just going to leave him in the natural state. World 1. Does KillerApp have a hammer? Yes! And, ooh, that is the second auto-scroller, the Ice Dive. Piercing Mountain, we only have 2 auto-scrollers in the vanilla game. We only have 2 auto-scrollers left in this randomized game. 5-6 was an auto-scroller originally with the Flying Parabeetles. But, as you saw by, how difficult that jump was for our runners and why they used P-Wings, yeah, that is perhaps one stage where having it be an auto-scroller would... maybe it would be for the best. Alright, KillerApp is going back down into the water. Has to watch out for the currents here. Alright, KillerApp is home free. BigZeeff trying to make his way towards Morton Koopa Jr. And down goes Morton Koopa Jr. KillerApp is thinking about it. Nope, not doing the N-Spade game yet. Instead, we have 4-2 with Boss Bass. Oh, boy. This is actually an appropriate stage for Boss Bass to be in. That was a giant piranha plant that somehow didn't look good. Fortunately, 4-2 is a bit easy to avoid Boss Bass as long as you don't fall in the water. Now, does BigZeeff have a hammer? Yes! Must have been awarded from that Hammer Bro and I had missed it. However, is BigZeeff going to go through this auto-scroller? Right now, that answer is looking like yes. One more P-Wing for the road as we encounter the World 1 airship. And, oh, looks like BigZeeff got pushed down by the current. Does BigZeeff have a Lakitu cloud? No, has to play the stage. Larry Koopa, aka Cheatsy, is an Earthquaker today. However, 3 hits is enough, and we have a frog suit in the ice dive stage. This is perhaps the best time to use it, but unfortunately the Delectro said no. This means KillerApp is the first to enter World 8. Alright, first up, 7-3. Ooh! This may not be a bad stage to consider getting a Fire Flower for, admittedly. But KillerApp wants to preserve that tail. BigZeeff is almost through the ice dive. Oh, there goes the tail. Nice safety jump. Alright, both of our runners are through. World 8 has the potential for another God Pipe right here. Where does this pipe take us? The hand bridge, KillerApp wants no part of it. So now we are in the Navy, where we play rando all the time. In the Navy, where any PB is sublime. In the Navy, where stopping Boss Bass ain't a crime. In the Navy, in the Navy. And no saluting from the Bob-Bombs this time. And I don't think Boom Boom liked the music either. Funny enough, that was actually a vanilla Navy stage. Okay, interesting decision by KillerApp. This is... I want to say another Lost level here. I wish I could remember which one. Maybe 3.9 beta? Either way. KillerApp chose to not go through the hand bridge, where you could have potentially skipped 3 stages. Oh! BigZeeff takes a death due to the earthquake. But in this case, going to play through 2 required stages in order to access 2 pipes. This may be worth it. Alright, BigZeeff is going to go after Larry again. As KillerApp enters 3-6. This was another auto-scroller originally, but obviously that is gone. And to confirm what Piercing Mountain in chat is saying, to my knowledge, invincibility does not work on the Koopalings. Alright, 2 accessible pipes right now for KillerApp. Will one of them be the good one? That's not the one we're looking for. At least, not yet. We don't know. It could be. Let's check the other pipe first. There we go! 2 stages away! Desert Fortress guards Bowser Koopa's castle. Alright, BigZeeff has received the Lakitu Paragoomba introduction into World 8. And apparently liked it so much, going to see it again. I don't think that death was actually intentional, folks, but... Sometimes things happen. And BigZeeff going to use Fire Flower strats for this stage. I approve. KillerApp dealing with... Ooh, almost missed the door. Alright, folks. KillerApp is now approaching Bowser Koopa's castle. Most of our runners will attempt to equip the hammer suit, maybe a star if they still have it, and just blitzkrieg through the stage, hoping for a hammer kill. Does get on the raising platform. BigZeeff going through the hand bridge, actually got through and encounters the dark door maze. This is going to be a time eater. Oh, KillerApp missed the high path and couldn't get into the low one. Ouch. Fortunately, we have another hammer suit on standby, so not too much time was lost. Gotta love Boo Diddleys on candles. Alright, BigZeeff, you can only slide so far. Sometimes it's best to just let the P-switch music run out. Ooh, KillerApp almost lost footing. Now going through Bowser's breath across the donut bridge. Oh no! Loses the hammer suit at close to the last possible moment. This means we are going to see a vanilla fight. BigZeeff at the opposite end needs to go through another fortress. In this case, the third fortress of World 6. And no, you don't have enough invincibility to go under that conveyor belt, unfortunately. And, oh, Bowser with the snipe! KillerApp is back to the start. Out of hammer suits, using a P-Wing. BigZeeff has a chance to catch up now. However, this elevator segment does not look friendly. We have two hot foots that are moving on their own. KillerApp hoping to not get sniped by a Potoboo here. Alright, top path achieved. Bowser's Fire Breath is coming in hot. BigZeeff taking... Ah, that's where that pipe went. And oh, BigZeeff has just completed the unintentional loop. KillerApp just staying low, hoping that we don't have unexpected fireballs. BigZeeff hoping to catch up, but right now KillerApp is in a good position. As long as KillerApp remembers to jump, then we're good. Gets the jump, gets to the other side. And feels Bowser Koopa landing on the ground with a big thump. With that, KillerApp breathes a sigh of relief, gets through the door, and finishes in first place with an official SRL time of 49 minutes, 2 seconds. Get your GGs out in chat, folks. And with that, I believe we have KillerApp in the commentator's booth. GG.
GG. Oh man, I thought I choked it so hard right at the end there. Oh my goodness.
If there was another Bowser fall right there, who knows what would have happened.
Oh my goodness.
Because BigZeeff is in Bowser's Castle right now.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, walk us through this seed.
Started off really quick because we went right to the first castle, and of course it was Wendy. But luckily I got it first try. Then it was sort of spread out with the hammers. Got a couple clouds early on that was nice to skip the pipe level, and it was towards the middle area at the end of World 6.
Yeah, I don't know of any runner that likes 7.5 or 7.4. I always forget which one it is, but both levels are evil.
Yeah. Yeah, this one, my run sort of got a little sloppy. I had a couple deaths, and it got better. I got a couple nice hammers, so I could skip most, I skipped in level 7. World 7, I used the hammer on the block there, right at by 7-9.
And just to give you an indication of how close it was, BigZeeff just finished with an official SRL time of 51 minutes 18 seconds.
Yeah, figured it was pretty close.
So everyone, get your GGs out in chat. This, 2 minutes is... It is possible to get closer, but this was still extremely close.
Oh my goodness. Definitely had my heart pumping after burning through both of those hammer suits.
And with that, I believe we have BigZeeff in the commentator's booth as well. GG, sir.
Hey, what's up, guys? Thank you.
Hey, good game, man.
No, that must have been a really good race. That's pretty close. It was like, what, within 2 minutes or something?
It was 2 minutes and very little change. The thing was, KillerApp actually had the lead for the most part. Part of that was early stage struggling and slight route divergences that gave KillerApp enough of a lead to maintain it for a bit, and then World 8 was a big deciding factor. I was actually wondering what was going to happen, handbridge versus no handbridge. BigZeeff, you went to the handbridge. If you did not go through that, even though you had none of the stages encountered across it, you may have taken this.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you basically did the big loop around instead to get to the intended pipe.
Oh, yeah. I guess that makes sense, yeah. I mean, it's all random, but I got lucky too. I didn't have any hands on the handbridge, so.
Yeah, I don't think you would have lost time that way if you didn't get any hands. Because I ended up playing the first two, taking that second pipe and played 8-1 and 8-2.
You never know on this randomizer stuff. You just got to do whatever makes sense at the time. But I feel like I made every single decision that I should have made. I don't know. I did some random stuff, but you clearly beat me by just being faster at the levels. So, or well, I assume I used like almost all my items. So,
at the beginning, I sort of got lucky and got through the tougher parts, but I got a little sloppy. Had like a couple deaths, but otherwise I had a pretty clean run until Bowser's Castle. I died twice with hammer suits.
Did you do a lot of the end games or whatever, the card games?
I cleared one card game. I think one of the items I got from him was a hammer, but I sort of messed up. I could have got more items, but I didn't remember what card was which. I only got through one set.
I think I cleared 2 of them, and I've got a ton of music boxes.
Oh.
So I don't think you missed out on too much.
So, KillerApp, with this victory, you move on to the bracket stages. Who are you most afraid of facing?
If you're not lying, you'd be lying if you say Mitch or Grand Pooh Bear, but I don't know. I think it'd be fun to face them. I never had a chance to, and my good buddy Tap TOJ is also going to be in brackets, so hopefully we face up against each other.
And BigZeeff, unfortunately, this was the rubber match, and it didn't work out for you here.
No, it's all good. I mean, I did a run that I'm proud of. I'm pretty happy with how I did, and this was a lot of fun. I mean, this is one of the funnest tournaments I've ever been in. I've been in a few tournaments on speed gaming and whatnot, but I'm probably going to go back and maybe start running some any percent Warpless again. I don't know. It kind of got me back in the grind. It was a lot of fun. I'm glad I could be a part of it.
Any other thoughts regarding this seed, this tournament, anything before we wrap things up?
No, just GG to my opponent, and hopefully he'll advance far in the next tournament we have of this. And
oh man, if there's another tournament of this at some point, I'm definitely in. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is a lot of fun. Even if you don't win, it's still fun to like playing a new game each time. It's awesome.
Oh yeah, this is some of the most fun I've had in a tournament. This is good. It's good stuff.
Yep.
Give it up once more for BigZeeff and KillerApp. Please give them a follow if you haven't already. And with that, while we have wrapped up Super Mario Bros. 3 for now, we still have a lot of action coming up. On Randomania, in 1 hour, we are going to have the Super Mario Land 2 Randomizer Weekly. Also at 7 p.m. Eastern, I believe on Randomania 2, we are going to have the Dragon Warrior Randomizer Chaos Tournament matchup. For those that wish to see more Super Mario Bros. 3 Randomizer, however, you're going to have to hop on over to Speed Gaming. 7 p.m. Gimp Extreme versus Kevin856. Then 8:30 p.m. Rupert83 versus Cartridge Blowers. Then at 10 p.m. a dual matchup. The Seawolf 1 versus Duke Firebird and S Diesel versus Adirondack Rick. So we have plenty more randomizer action for you tonight. However, this stage is approaching its curtain call, so for JK Allen, our restreamer, for our runners, for just all of you here today, this is Wolfman2000 saying, until next time, watch out for Boss Bass. Later!